What's going on, everybody? Coach MccDann here. Smash Bros. Ultimate does not fail to deliver on stages. There are 115 beautiful stages in this game, but as we've come to learn, only a tiny fraction of those stages are considered tournament legal. We'll start off with the standard original stage formats. The three stage formats are Normal, Battlefield, and Omega. In competitive Smash Ultimate, every stage is played in its own normal format with no stage hazards enabled. Considering the fact that most competitive stages are structured in the style of these three stage formats, we can understand that the differences between the stages the players choose from are strictly due to the details of that specific stage and what it has to offer. Let's use Yoshi's story as an example. Although the stage is structured to look similar to Battlefield, Yoshi's story has a key significance to differentiate from Battlefield itself, that factor being walls. This aspect is an important factor to certain characters as they are allowed the opportunity to wall jump and wall cling on the side of the stage, an option that not all characters in the game have. The structure of a stage also both compares and differentiates with its placement of platforms, oftentimes in relation to another, such as Smashville and Hollow Bastion, for example. This factor alone is a defining factor for picking up a stage to consider it tournament legal. Some stages stay the same, some have moving platforms, some have no platforms at all, and although these factors seem minuscule, they actually play a key factor into a character's success in a match. We'll get more into that later. Blast zones. Each stage in Smash Ultimate has a unique blast zone radius. These are typically described as the borders surrounding the stage that the player is, blasted into after being hit a certain direction. Knowing this, we can learn how some stages have similar blast zones, such as Battlefield and Small Battlefield, while some stages have much smaller blast zones like Final Destination and Town and City, or larger stages like Smashville and Kalos Pokemon League. Some stages have a shorter blast zone along the sides of the stage, such as Town and City, while others have higher top blast zones like Smashville. Okay, alright, you're probably thinking, this is cool and all, but how does this affect me? Well, in more ways than one, actually. Let's discuss why stage selection really matters now. While focusing on these aspects of stages is a good thing, what really makes this topic an important one to discuss is understanding how some stages could be more beneficial to your opponent's character, or even yours. Some characters rely on platforms to execute crucial combos to gain a significant amount of damage, such as Bayonetta, while other characters simply have preferences on stages to maximize their gameplay, such as the different materials Steve gets from each stage. Overall, stage selection is important to the success of your own play as much as it is your opponent's, so it's best to discover what stages your character is best with overall by watching sets of your character and asking other players of your character what stages they like playing on the most and why. Okay, we just gone over the importance of stage selection. This isn't necessarily something to be learned overnight. Throughout experience with competitive Smash, you'll learn time and time again with what characters you should not take to a certain stage. But it all comes with the practice you'll get while focusing on your own character primarily. So don't worry, you won't have to get too wrapped up in this topic for long. Alright. So you've come to understand the significance of stage selection, why this is an important factor in competitive play, and how much these stages can differ with factors such as platforms, blast zones, and specific character traits, such as wall jumping and wall clinging. So what's our next step? Play the game, of course. Head on into the competitive mode rule set you have, but we're going to do something different this time. Select two separate competitive stages that contrast each other when it comes to blast zones or platform placements, and play 3 to 5 games on them. Whether you win or lose, it doesn't matter, but focus on how different the stages you choose might be. Is there something you learned in the lesson that you didn't know? Try to recognize it when playing. And with that, we've covered a great amount of information on stage selection. Be sure to practice primarily on the competitive stage list we've provided in these lessons, and you'll be one step ahead in your already amazing progress you've made. See you on the battlefield, or Yoshi's Island, or Final you know what? You get the idea. You get the idea.